Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming and for joining me today. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you so much. I really wanted us to meet today for a quick meet and greet event, thanks to the special occasion, which is the launch of my second book, My African Childhood Growing Up in Guinea. Thank you so much. Thank you again. I'm so pleased. Can you please use the chat and tell me where you're watching from? So maybe we give it another 2 or 3 minutes for everyone to connect, and then we will get going. Yes, in the meantime, maybe I'll talk about the book again. So I wrote, my first book was Lessons on Depression. It was all about mental health and, as its title indicates, and about my lessons, the lessons that I learned when I was going through that very challenging period. And I hope that it has helped many people. And I felt that it was still important for me to write about my story and, where I grew up, because I believe that is important for everyone to share our stories. So yes, I look forward to more people joining. In the meantime, as I said again, please feel free to use the chat to tell me where you are watching from. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. So, my name is ZenabBarry. I am a British citizen who was born and raised in Guinea, Conakry. I am the founder of ZenabBarry Consulting, and which is a platform whereby I try to offer some coaching, mentoring, and leadership training services to individuals as well as groups and academic institutions or other types of organizations. I am also a podcaster, and the title of my podcast is Development One Topic at a Time. So I am a development specialist, hence the title, and I always want to think about ways to change things and make this world a better place. And as I was trying to define the specific topic that I'll focus on my podcast, I realized that I wanted to touch on many different topics. So I left it as it is, so that I can explore a range of topics, not just one specific one. I am the author of Lessons on Depression, as I mentioned before, and the latest book, which is the reason why we're here today, My African Childhood, Growing Up in Guinea. This is my copy. I'm really happy to have received it. So yeah, that's the one. So this is my second book. But before we start, I wanted to find out whether you would be up for sharing a little bit more about how your day went today. Okay, so this was planned as an interactive session, but I also want to go with people's preferences, so I'll just continue. Today, I wanted to share, before I dive into the deep issue here, about my one thing that I'm grateful for. I think I am really, really grateful again. I want to reiterate, grateful for the opportunity to share this special moment here with you. I want to thank you again, and I'm really, really grateful to God for every single thing that has happened in my life. Whenever you're ready, please feel free to share it in the chat. Just mentioning it because that's how it was planned. But if you prefer not to, that's also fine, because the main thing is for me to share this experience with you. So in whichever way you feel comfortable. So this is how I've planned this very, very brief moment that we are going to share together. Because between now and 6:45 is a very, very short period of time, so I am aware of that. Right. So first, I would like to tell you a bit more about why I wrote the book. Then I wanted to provide a brief overview of the book and its content. And then after that, I would like to include some sample readings to see, which parts maybe that are my favorite parts, or which parts you like, or just random ones. I'll also give you an opportunity to ask questions if you prefer to do so. If not, you can also leave it at that. And after those questions, we can also go into a little quiz whereby I'll share an African riddle, and then the winner will be announced. The first person to answer the question will be the winner, and then I'll announce the winner, and I'll share the surprise. Remember when I shared the video earlier on this week about the invitation, inviting you to come to this live? I did share that there will be a surprise. So it's coming. I'll let you know in a moment. And then I think after that, I'll just close the live stream with all the comments that I'll share with you later. So, are you ready? Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Bella, for coming. Thank you. And I'll also wait for other people to start sharing their stories or how they're feeling today. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you for those lovely hearts. Thank you for always being supportive of all the endeavors that I've been undertaking. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. May Allah reward you abundantly. Thank you so much. Thanks. So let's get going. Wow. So why did I write this book? I wrote my African childhood growing up in Guinea because I think that we should all share our stories. Because I think the more we share our stories, the more we learn from each other. And I think the more we learn from each other, the more we are aware for the people's preferences and perspectives, and we understand each other. And perhaps in doing so, we can contribute to making this world a better place. Yeah, that's really one of the main reasons why I wrote this book. Although I also felt like I had to write it to share that story, that part of me. And to be honest, it feels very liberating. I know it's true that being in the public eye can come with so many levels of vulnerability. It's not easy. It takes courage to do so, I acknowledge. So I really encourage you all. And I also know that writing, I found it really cathartic, very liberating, as I said earlier, and very, very powerful as well. It's a very powerful way of sharing things with the public in general. So if you have not already done so, I really encourage you to share your story so that I can read it. Not only that, because I'm curious about what's happening or what has happened in your life as you were growing up, or in other types of other parts of your life. But I also look forward to learning from it. So not just the curiosity part of it, but also learning from your stories. So I encourage you to do so if you've not yet done it, but please only do it when you are ready and on your own terms. Yes, so let's keep going. So what is inside this book, My African Childhood Growing Up in Guinea? So My African Childhood Growing Up in Guinea is a story of hope, of love, of empathy, of social cohesion, of resilience. It really deals with scarcity and abundance. It shares an insight into the community-focused African way of life, one that I've read that has really helped to enrich my life. I don't know how else to be grateful for everything that I've received thanks to that childhood. I'm really, really grateful to God for having, for having had that childhood. This book also talks about the rich Fulani tradition. So, through the eyes of a child, I try to go back to those moments in Mali and Benin, part of Mali, Guinea, in the northern part of Guinea, where I shared really beautiful, experiences with the other part, the maternal side of my family, especially with my grandmother, my friends, cousins, aunts, uncles. I mean, everyone who's been to Africa, anyone who's been to Africa knows that, the African family doesn't stop just with, mom, dad, and the children, but or grandparents only. It goes beyond that. So you'll see that in the book, I talk about many uncles, many cousins, many grandmothers. So a grandmother can be your mom's aunt. So your mom's aunt is also your grandmother. Your mom's uncle is also your grandmother. Your father's aunt is also your grandmother, and so is your father's uncle, also your grandfather. It's very rich. It's a very large family, and you feel very welcomed, and you learn a lot about socializing and about human nature in general, really. So I'm really grateful for that. In this book, I also talk about the Guinean cultural and ethnic diversity. So I try to present it in a beautiful way, because that is what makes Guinea a beautiful country. I think it's got that multitude of ethnic groups, and different languages, different types of food, and every region has its own climate, different traditions and cultures, and I think that makes it a beautiful melting pot, and that is something that needs to be really taken care of, and needs to be prioritized and brought to the forefront of everything that we do as people who are originally from Guinea. And in this book, I also try to change the perspectives and that people have in Africa. Usually, I try to show a different side of Africa, because usually many things that we hear about Africa are negative. Whereas we know that it's not all about negativity in Africa. There are so many positive issues to be highlighted that actually they need to take precedent. They need to be shown at a larger scale, because Africa is beautiful. This book does not only talk about that. I don't hide the fact that there are issues, that need to be taken into account, such as power outages when I was growing up, or the social or ethnic or economical or even political issues. I acknowledge that they exist, but I wanted to present the beauty of Africa, highlight that, and I think that's what this book is all about. In the book, I also take you on an adventure, and as I called it before on one of my videos, I think it was the book trail. It's a trip down memory lane, to be precise, as I try to revisit many aspects of my childhood. Trust me, when I was writing it, I realized that I was one a long time ago. Sometimes you think that you are not aging, but you try to remember a few memories, and you realize that, wow, time has really, really gone so fast, and you have to cherish those moments, and remembering who you were as a child actually reminds you of what your priorities are and what you need to do now, and it also helps to enlighten you in terms of what you want to do in the future. So I also encourage you, even if you don't want to write a book, to just go back to just take a time, maybe sit at a very, very peaceful space and just think about those beautiful experiences that you've had as a child. And sometimes they don't just got to be beautiful. There are some scary events that I share in the book, also some very funny ones, and some moments that were very puzzling as well. But they've really helped me. And I think ever since I've written the book, I feel so light. And again, it has been a very cathartic experience. This book is also, as I said, about peace and love and empathy. And again, I put a very, very strong emphasis on this. Is about the importance of the community life, how that plays in a child's, how important that is in a child's life, how that it plays out in the African context, especially in Guinea, where I grew up. I am really, really also grateful to everyone who has made this a very beautiful childhood. Not a perfect one. I've learned not to be perfect, and I've learned that perfection is really something that we can never attain. And I know we all say that, but once you really realize that that's something that you cannot attain, you internalize that, it really frees you up from many things. It helps you to step out there and be into the public eye and remember that all other people who are watching you or who are also going through the daily lives, they're also human beings. They have their ups and downs, they have their fears, they have also they also maybe fear that they are not good enough at times, or they are too much, that way of trying to find the right balance. But it's good to remember that we are human beings and that we will never be perfect. So that gratitude, really, I also incorporated that in the book. And also that really is a way of thanking everyone who has made that a special, journey for me. And through that, alhamdulillah, I want to thank God, because it would not have happened if His will, without His will, basically. So we have to thank Him. I thank Allah for every single blessing that I have, and I thank Him for everything that I've had in my life, and for everything that I will also have, and I'm grateful. So in a nutshell, the book is all about me, about my childhood in West Africa, in a country called Guinea. And I guess that Bella, of course, I know you know where Guinea is. And so there's no need to ask you where the country is, or what your experience was when you were there. But actually, you can share a little bit more about your experience if you can type where you are. But if you can't, that's fine. I'm very grateful for your presence. And I really take this with a very, very, it really comes really deeply into my heart. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. So, as I said, it has been a very rewarding journey personally, and I am pleased that I am now able to share it with all of you. I thank you all for jumping into this new adventure. Your presence and your support means so much. I think now it was meant to be a very interactive session, but I think I might skip this and just talk a little bit more about the book cover. So the book title, actually, as you can see, the title is My African Childhood Growing Up in Guinea. The initial title was My African Childhood Growing Up in Guinea, Conakry. And I put it out there on social media, and someone who I really value wrote me a message, sent me a very private message via WhatsApp, reminding me of the fact that, Guinea, yes, Guinea is the Republic of Guinea. We don't need to add Conakry there. I was really grateful for that reminder, which I already knew, but I also reiterated that, living in the UK, sometimes when you say Guinea, people think that you are from Guinea-Bissau or Papua New Guinea, not even in Africa. So I just wanted to add the capital there, Conakry, so that people know exactly what type of Guinea, what specific Guinea I'm talking about. And I was really grateful for their comment, and I thanked them for that kindness and for going out of their way and reminding me. And then I was talking to my dad regarding the title, and he looked at the title and he said, no, you cannot keep it like that. You cannot say Guinea-Conakry because it is Guinea. It's the Republic of Guinea. It's the only country. It's the only one that has Guinea, because the other ones it's Guinea-Bissau. You have Papua New Guinea. You have also Equatorial Guinea, but our Guinea is just Guinea, so you have to keep it that way. It made me think. Oh, thank you so much, Bella, for sharing your comment there. Yes, a very, very beautiful experience of our motherland, indeed. Indeed, I've loved it too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Beautiful comment. And thanks for the hearts. I'm sending you millions as well. So my dad said, you can't keep it like that. You have to change it. And then, yes, it made me think. And it really made me realize that actually the onus is not on us to, specifically say, okay, this is a specific Guinea we're talking about. People need to change that narrative. They need to go and research what type of Guinea I'm talking about. If I say Guinea, and if in my book I talk about Mali and Marin, I talk about, Conakry, and actually even on the cover, I put it here. So really they would know where Guinea is. And I thought, we have a beautiful history. It was the first, country, I think, in the French part, specifically in the western part, to get its independence. We are the only country that said no to the referendum of Charles de Gaulle in 1958, and that's something that Guineans are proud of. So yes, it's the Republic of Guinea. So through this, I really wanted to thank Falilou Diallo, with whom I collaborated to the LinkedIn Connect Africa event, for his beautiful comment, and also wanted to thank my father, Boubacar Barry, whom I talk about in the book, who also highlighted that. And just not to make people jealous, I thank my mom too. She knows that I talk a lot about her in the book. I was just talking about the title, but I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you all. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. Thank you. I think now I just wanted to read some samples. Let's see. So it's 6:23. We have time. So there are happy memories, sad memories, funny ones, scary ones, scary moment. Talk about my mom and dad, briefly, cows in Futajalo, and power outages. I think I'll let you choose one of them, please. Again, I'll repeat, and I'll let you put it in the chat, and I'll read one. And perhaps after that, I'll read another one too. So is it 1, happy memory, 2, a sad one, 3, a funny one, 4, a scary moment, 5, mom and dad, or 6, cows in Futajalo, 7, power outages. So there was no electricity at some point. So what do you want me to read, please? I'll give you a few seconds, and if there's nothing on the chat, I will just go and pick one page and start reading, inshallah. 3 and 7. Thank you very much. Let's go 3 and 7. Right, which one was 3 again? So 3 is, funny one. Let's see. Funny one, page 141. I think you have the book, so you can follow. Right, let's see. It all looked like a part of America that was sold to me in the movies and videos that I used to watch in Guinea, even in Queens, where I visited my cousins Lalla and Afiz, not their real names either. My presence in the US made me feel like I was in those movies and videos. This felt good, and I wanted it to become my continued reality. So I called Mama to share my innocent feelings. I tried my best to convince her to let me stay in New York and pursue my studies there. She listened with a keen ear until I finished expressing my adamance to remain in the US. It seemed I had taken the time to highlight all the main reasons that could justify my need to stay in New York. Of course, My main argument was about benefiting from a better education system. But as previously noted, I had also fallen in love with the lifestyle, the language, food, and perceived freedom were all so enchanting. But I knew that Mama would not be particularly keen to hear me state those reasons. Mama, who thought that staying in the US at that age and getting used to earning a few $100s from random low skilled jobs here and there would have diverted my attention away from undertaking serious studies, responded in a firm voice that conveyed a somewhat funny but undoubtful message. Listen to me, Zay. If you miss your plane, if you do not come back on the pre-planned day, you will walk from New York to Conakry, she said. As surreal as it seemed, I knew my mother, and I did not entertain the idea of lobbying any further. I immediately started planning my return. So I think that's funny because maybe it's more relatable for anyone who knows my mom. Yeah, she can be very, yeah, they're like, hey, yeah, I know, I can see laughs. Yeah. She can be very loving, very strict, and very funny at the same time. So I really didn't entertain that idea. I just said, you know what? Yeah, that was just a thought. Let me just pack my bags and just keep going, you know? Now let's go with number 7, please. So number 7 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Power outages. Ah, okay. That one is interesting. Page 155. So again, I say here, I'm not going to read the whole page, but just a snippet of it. I'll start from telling my story without mentioning power outages in Conakry could be tantamount to omitting an integral aspect of my childhood. The lack of electrical supply on some evenings meant that at times we were plunged into the darkness and mindful of potential nocturnal visits from bandits. But if I counted on this to avoid revising or doing my homework, I had to think again. Our parents always found ways to counteract and even preempt our excuses for not studying. We would read with candles and paraffin lamps. This was so common in those days that when the evening fell, one would often hear merchants chanting the expression "Karasinibe" in Susu, a Susu expression for attracting potential buyers' attention and informing them that the liquid that powered the lamps was indeed available and ready to be sold. Sometimes revision sessions would take place in the car. Even though we acknowledged the risk of flattening or damaging the battery, we would turn the inner car light on and read and memorize our lessons before bedtime. We had a generator, but sometimes turning it on was a risky endeavor. I'll stop there in terms of that. Karasinibe, I know. Trust me, whenever I go to Guinea, but that's something I don't hear anymore, and it makes you realize that, oh my God, times have changed. I don't think our children will know that. You know, every time you were out there, that's the one thing you would hear is either that or yeah glace, there's frozen water to be sold or that karasini base. But these were the songs that we heard growing up, right? Now let's move on to the next part. I think I'll pick one. I'll pick number 1, I think. Oh no, I'll start with my mom and dad. Yeah, just a very brief part there. Just to keep people curious. If they want to read the rest, please feel free to get a copy. So, mom and dad, learning about resilience and kindness from my parents. If my parents taught me the importance of education, resilience building lessons were also part of their unwritten curriculum. This aspect of the learning package occupied a center stage in the education process. So that's all I wanted to share in terms of my parents, because I think the book is full of experiences that I've had with them, and I look forward to the comments that you would have once you've read the books and you've shared your comments either on Amazon or you've sent me a message. You can use ZenabBarry Consulting website and go onto the contact me form and let me know, or you can follow me on all the social media platforms that I am on. Okay, maybe we have time for one more scare about footage along. I think I'll go with footage along, page 97. Okay, so I'll start with okay. Cows being the main animals that Pearls, Fulbe, or Fulanis, same people but different appellations, choose as their companions, they are reserved a special place within our culture. They are respected and honored. Their milk is used in the process of making one of the main cultural dishes, latiri ekosan, corn-based couscous and natural yogurt, and they are given names on a special tukpal ceremony. I have only attended one tukpal ceremony. I was around 10 years old, and the memory has vividly stayed with me to this day. The event is simply unforgettable. A special mixture was put in an enclosure. The cows were led to the place, and I think I'll stop there in terms of that story, and I'll let you finish it. Yes. Now let's move on. I think I'll let you ask questions now, please. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and I'll answer them. I give this 3 minutes, so I will give you the time to type your questions in the chat. And in the meantime, I will look for my link tree and put it in the chat there just in case. Because I think the live stream can also be repurposed as a video that will be put on YouTube. So I'll just put the website there as well. Again, if you wanted to contact me, please feel free to use the social media platforms that I am on, or you can also go on ZenabBarryConsulting.com and scroll all the way down at the bottom of the page on the contact me section. You can write there and tell me all about your basically how you've seen the book. I look forward to learning more about your experience reading it and also your comments. Okay, so now let's go with the next step, please, if there are no questions. Okay, the next step, I think, let's go with the quiz. I have a very, very special riddle, and I'm glad I am sharing it today because it's an African one. And the first person to answer the riddle will benefit from a free life coaching session that I will deliver. So again, please feel free to use ZenabBarry Consulting's contact me form section to answer it, or just put it on the chat here so I'll know what your answer is. Let's see. So this is the riddle. I have a very smart friend. Ever since we met, my knowledge has been expanding. Together, we have discovered so many places. Who is my friend? I'll read it again. Or I'll even put it in the chat. I have a very smart friend. Ever since we met, my knowledge has been expanding. Together, we have discovered many places. Who is my friend? Any answers? Again, just wanted to remind you that the first person to reply to this is going to get a free life coaching session with me. So I'll just go to my messages and see if anyone has responded. Actually, just please put it on the chat here. Put your response on the chat, and then I'll see. I'll give you some clues. So my friend is not a human being, of course. So it's a figurative speech. My friend, curiosity. That's a good one. Actually, yeah, it could be an answer. It could be an answer. That's a beautiful one. Actually, that's much better than the answer that I was trying to find. Curiosity is a very good answer. Well done. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. But I want you to dig a little bit deeper again. I'll give you another clue. It's related to this meet and greet. I'll let you think again and see. So one more minute. So it's not curiosity, but I think next time I plan this question, I can use curiosity as an answer with your permission. Thank you. But it's definitely not curiosity at this point. It's related to this event. So it's a thing. It's something that's palpable. It's not an abstract. And I think if I give the last clue, then you would really put the answer there. So I think all ready to put your fingers on the typing place on the keyboard. And so the other clue is this. Yes. So you got it without the third clue. The clue. Well done. Yes, it's the book. It is a book. Of course, it's a book. Thank you so much. You are the winner. Yay! 100%. Well done. Well done, Bella Jello. You are the winner. So yes, it's a book because I guess when you have a book, you can read so many different types of books and you travel through them, you discover different places through them, you learn different cultures, you learn so much from just a book. You don't even have to travel and go anywhere. You just sit there in the same place and just let your mind wander. You learn new vocabulary and, those new words take you places, you discover why they were invented, and so on and so forth. So well done! Congratulations! So you've earned a free coaching session then with me. Well done! I'll get in touch and send you a message regarding the next steps. Thank you so much. Well done. And I think I'll use curiosity next time. I think that's much better than book. Okay, so I talked about a surprise. I think we only have 6 minutes left, so let me crack on. I talked about a surprise in the invitation video again. So what was the surprise? The surprise is that on the 21st of June, 2025, I will be organizing a reasonably priced masterclass on how to write a book. Yes. If you've ever wanted to write a book and not sure how, or wanted to get out of that procrastination stage, which I think I dwelled in a lot. I spent I don't know how many years in that realm, not knowing, oh dear, should I go out there? Should I not? Should I just keep it? No, maybe I don't need to write the book. I don't want to. I don't know. So this is for you. We'll explore the different stages of writing a book. From the ideation stage to writing your first draft, and also opting for a suitable publication process. So the different types are either the self-publishing route or the traditional publication path, or even the hybrid one that we have as well, the hybrid option. And I'll explain a little bit more about what the hybrid option is in the masterclass. So this is your opportunity to really come again and talk to me and share those ideas with me and learn again from maybe my experience. And I think since I've written 2 books, I wanted to share that. I feel like it's a duty that I wanted to share, because many people think that it's very difficult. I wouldn't say that there are no challenges, but I think once you started, once you've decided to be resolute, to just decide to just go for it, with the help of God, you will really get there. And I'll share some tips and the lessons that I've learned in the process, and also how I have developed a whole process. So at the beginning, I think it was really time consuming because you had to look for everything. How do I do this? How do I do that? But now that there's a roadmap, and I would like to share that roadmap with you. Of course, the roadmap is not going to be the same for everyone. So I'll emphasize on authenticity and also that being bespoke. I'll be there to listen to your questions and answer them to the best of my ability. So I look forward to seeing you there on the 21st of June, 2025. And this opportunity is for anyone, everywhere, anywhere in the world. So please stay tuned, because more details will be shared soon. I will share them on my social media platforms. So again, please keep in touch and follow me on the different social media platforms using the link tree that I shared in the chat. And I'll also have it on my YouTube channel. Yes, I look forward to that. I really, really look forward to welcoming you to that masterclass. Yeah, bring your friends, your family members, anyone. I'll share the details and make it more known, I think, more visible, so that more people will join. Okay, we are almost getting towards the end of this live. I can't believe I survived. This is my first YouTube live I know of. It's always daunting, even if I've chaired meetings before, but this is the first YouTube live, and I thought, wow, this is the most accessible platform, I thought, for so that everyone from different social media platforms, from Facebook or Instagram and LinkedIn, could come here and join me. And because I know there are lives on the other platforms as well, but let's see, we live and we learn. So let's see what we're going to do next time. Yes, so I think I will wrap it up there. And maybe I'll just read another part randomly before I beautifully close this. Thank you so much for the hearts. I've seen them. Thank you so much. Bella, thank you for your support. It means so much. Thank you. Oh, I just opened it randomly, and it's a chapter about my mom. Quick! I know you've seen that part. Okay. So, Mom, having married young, my parents did not have great financial resources. They began their married lives with humble means, although my grandparents were not poor. My mother, who was and still is a serial entrepreneur who has always believed in independence and self affirmation, put her degree certificate aside, thereby ignoring society's expectations of her to solely seek office related means of subsistence, and launched her homemade beverage business. She knew that when the opportunity would ultimately lend itself, she would still have the necessary skills to work in an office. However, in the meantime, she did not want to waste time by waiting for someone to give her a chance to prove herself. She simply actively proved herself to herself and thereby benefited those around her. Mama is an amazing woman and a seemingly inexhaustible source of inspiration. I know I picked this randomly, but I am so glad I did, because it englobes everything that I've learned from her. Thank you so much, Mom, for everything that you've done for me, and thank you, Dad, as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bella. I know. Thank you for saying that. It's beautiful. Thank you. I've learned so much from my mom, and thank you too for your support and for your presence. I really value it, and I wish you a beautiful evening, and my greetings to everyone, and have a lovely rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. But I know that Auntie Bella is here, and so I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, and I think it's a wrap. Bye. See you soon on the masterclass, and I'll end the stream now.